we're going to work on the head of our turtle. So remember, we're going to do a magic ring to start just about all of them. So the tip of your fingernails and your tail are going together. So we're bringing the tail closer and closer to the tip. Okay, I'm going to hold it in place. It's just a magic ring. We've done this 25 times at least. Pulling it through underneath, give it a twist, and then go grab that third one again, and we're started. Okay, so that is our magic ring. We're going to be doing 10 single crochets into our magic ring. So that's 1. Yarn over, that's 2. You can see that I'm holding this very still with my other hand. You almost can't tell that it's a loop while I'm working because we want it to be still. And then we're going to do, this is our third, I'm going to actually grab it, third single crochet. This will be our 4th single crochet. I'm going to pause it until I come back around. We'll close it up. Okay, so we have finished 10 single crochets. Now we're going to close up the magic ring. I'm going to hold it so that the tail is on top. I'm going to pull gently so that I can see which of my 2 loops started to get smaller. This one, it was the one that got smaller. The reason why I need to know that is because that tells me which one to pull. Now I'm going to pull on the same side I was pulling the tail on. This is the tail. Okay. I'm going to pull on the loop that got smaller right next to the tail. So I grab the loop instead of the tail and I pull out towards the tail. Don't pull the other side. Okay. Pull out toward the tail. And that's going to make our other one go away. Then I can pull the tail to make this loop disappear the rest of the way. So now I'm going to put this back in and make sure that I'm working with my working yarn and not my tail. So here's my tail. I'm going to make sure that that's just hanging out down here. And I want to go up over top of my tail so that I can continue going around. We don't want to be working on the back, and the back has these extra lines. So if you're not sure, look and see if it's got these little extra sideways lines, because the front won't have those little sideways lines. So we're going to hop over the tail and go into our first single crochet from the first round, and that just means that we're inserting our hook through it, and we're going to increase in every single one of these so that we go from having 10 stitches in our magic ring to having 20 stitches at the end of this round. So that was an increase because I did 2 single crochets into this hole. Now in the next hole, I'm going to also do 2 single crochets because we want to increase in everyone. So I'm going back into the same hole. You can see this is where I just was. I'm going to go in the same hole again to make an increase. I'm going to pause this and continue around. I'll meet you at the end. So we finished our second round. We've got the first round, which is into the magic ring, which looks like a little button. We've got the second round where I did 2 in every single hole, which is called increasing all the way around. And now on the third round of the head, now the head's a little bit different than the pattern for the other ones, but on the third round for the head, we are going to single crochet in every single hole. So no increasing. This time around, we're just going to single crochet. I'm actually going to leave that stitch marker there, and I'll fix it when I come back to it. So 1 single crochet, go to the next hole, 1 single crochet, go to the next hole, 1 single crochet. And we're going to do this all the way around because our head is not going to be flat just like our shell was, the head's going to have a little more curve to it. Okay, so the head pattern's a little bit different. So just single crocheting all the way around, about halfway around. I'm going to pause. I'll meet you back at the beginning. Okay, now we have done our magic ring with 10, our increase in every one with which brought us up to 20. We did 20 in this third row because that's what the pattern said to do, 1 single crochet in every single one. So that brings us up to round 4. So round 4, we're going to be single crocheting 1 and then increasing. And we're going to repeat that pattern all the way around, and we'll end with 30 stitches. So single crochet 1 and then increase. Remember, an increase is just single crocheting twice in the same hole, so make sure you go back into the same hole, otherwise you didn't increase. So make sure you're not skipping any holes. So we've begun our pattern, single crochet, 2 single crochets in the same hole, that's an increase. Single crochet, 2 single crochets, that's an increase. So I'm going to put my stitch marker in, and I'm going to continue around until I come back to it. I'll meet you there. We've come back around to our stitch marker. We've done single crochet, increase, single crochet, increase all the way around until we came back to it, which means we are now ready to begin our next row, our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th row. And our 5th row tells us to single crochet in every single hole. So that's very easy, just single crochet, find the very next hole, single crochet, find the very next hole, single crochet. We're going to do that all the way around. I'm going to put my stitch marker back in so that I've done 3 stitches, so I'm going to go back 3 with that. And I'll meet you right there when we finish this round. So we've come to the end of row 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 completed rows. And we did a single crochet in every stitch all the way around. Now as we begin row 6, the pattern for the head says that we're going to single crochet 2. So single crochet 1, single crochet 2, and then increase. So this is going to be an increase. Just like we did on the shells. Then we're going to single crochet 1, single crochet 2, and then increase, which means we're doing 2 single crochets in the same hole before we move on. Make sure you're going into the same hole. So you should see more yarn, and it might even almost look like a corner. So single crochet twice into that same hole, twice into this same hole. You'll see extra yarn there, 2 sets of V's into that same hole. Okay, I'm going to put my stitch marker in, and I'm going to continue our pattern until I come back around to it. I'll meet you there. So we've come to the end of round 6 where we did single crochet, increase. That was 2 single crochets and an increase all the way around. It still should sit kind of flat, but you might notice that it's got a little bit of a bubble just because this pattern's working a little bit differently than the shell did. Round 7 includes 3 single crochets. So 1, 2, trying to go slow here. Hopefully that's helping. 3 single crochets. The video stalled. All right, so we were in the middle of our 3rd single crochet when the camera stalled. So we've got 1, 2, 3 single crochets and then an increase. Now, this increase is really just 2 single crochets in the same hole, but you got to make sure you go into the same hole, not the next hole. Same hole, another single crochet in that same spot. It's also going to work out that the increase from the last row is going to be right next to or right below the increase in this row. So I'm going to put my stitch marker in. We did 3 single crochets in an increase, so I'm just going to go back the increase and 3 single crochets to put that in. And we're going to continue doing that all the way around. So 1 single crochet, and all of this is on your pattern. 3 single crochets, 1, 2, 3, and then an increase, which just means 2 in the same one. And we're going to continue that all the way around until we get back to the stitch mark. So we have finished round 7, which was another round of increasing. Single crochet 3 and then increase, single crochet 3 and then increase. We did that all the way around, and you can kind of see the little bumps where we did our increases. Round 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15 are all just single crochet in every hole, all the way around, all the way around, all the way around, all the way around. And that's what's going to take your head from just being flat to having height to it. And then in class next time, we will start working on decreasing so that your head can go from big back down to small. Okay, so what I would like for everyone to do is finish up from the first row all the way through the 15th row, which is where we're going to start our decreases in class together next time. So just single crochet in every single hole all the way around. Now, if you made a smaller body and you want a smaller head, then you're just going to skip this last row that we did, making it 50 stitches instead of 40 stitches. So you're going to completely skip round 7, and you're going to completely skip round 16 when we come to it. Everything else is going to be exactly the same, and that will just make your head a little bit smaller this way instead of being so fat. Okay, so that's an option for those of you who wanted to have just a slightly smaller head because your cell was a little bit smaller, or you just want to save yourself a little bit of time. That's okay too. So you would skip this round that we just did of the increases, and you'll see that on your pattern. Just skip row 7, and then when we come to it, you're going to skip row 16. So we're single crocheting in every single round until we get to 15 rows. Make sure you're counting your rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And you're going to keep going until you get to 15.